In this video, we hope it is Bella time. Yes, actual tinkering here on Hubnut, although possibly not the actual sort of touchy-feely sort of tinkering. It might be computer tinkering. We don't quite know yet. We've got a special mystery guest coming to assist today.
Channel members know because we mentioned his nickname.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. So, yeah, we're going to see if we can get Bella working properly. Because we're missing this one.
We are very much missing this one. We did go a bit crazy this week. We nearly did buy an Attri 7.
Yeah.
And then you nearly wanted a car that hasn't been on the channel yet. And nearly
Yeah.
did it. That.
Stop.
That.
Yeah.
But the reality is this is our people mover. We've got a family holiday coming up, so we need the luggage space.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to go back into the airport parking website because they're horrible.
And change the details. Yeah, so we need this to work.
So we need this to work.
But Shemito, old Shemi over there, next to this rather sickly rally spec Fiesta, which has nothing to do with us. Hashtag not my Fiesta. Yeah, Shemi has been default daily driver of late, really, sharing duties with Betty, the Ford Fairmont, of dashboard illness fame, and a certain 2CV up the back there.
And I got
the Peugeot, sorry, I'm just going to say
lovely.
this, the Peugeot is sold pending collection, so naturally it started leaking oil.
Yeah, only
Marvellous.
a little bit. But
It's only a little bit.
And I mean, you've got to be honest about it. She has got a little leak. She's a little incontinent in her old age.
Yeah, that has
to the
been
best of
mentioned.
us.
So,
But the good thing about having Shemi out is that I've done hundreds and hundreds of miles.
you've done loads of miles. I don't think they're necessarily useful miles from passing your driving test route,
I don't
because it's
know,
almost
there has been a
all
lot of,
rural.
Yeah, but there has been a lot of the manoeuvring. I feel so much more confident. I just generally feel so much more confident.
Lots of hazards to deal with.
Many hazards.
Yeah.
God, we came down from a place where we did some filming yesterday because that hasn't come out yet either, and there were all the tractors.
Yeah, all the tractors. You have had to do a full-on emergency stop once.
Stop, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been an experience for both of us. Yeah.
You make it sound terrible.
Yeah.
No, it has. It's been really good, but we need this car back on the road.
Yeah, we do. So hopefully today's the day we can revive Bella. So a quick reminder: misfiring really badly, and generally not pulling very well at all. So what started? Oh, it isn't intermittent anymore.
Oh, it's full on now.
Yeah, what started as just a slight unhappiness below 2,000 revs has turned into a full-blown misfire now. As soon as you're leaning on the throttle pedal at all. So if you have ever driven a car with a failing condenser, that's exactly what it feels like, but it's a diesel, so it hasn't got an ignition system. So anyway, we shall await the arrival of our guest, and we'll see if we can improve matters.
Meantime, we might work on another Citroen.
We might, or we might just leave it there.
Oh, well, have we got time? We don't want to waste time.
No. Yeah, so trying to do more on Giselle, and we've still got weirdness going on. The headlamp switch is switched to off. We've got a side light on this side. We've got the indicator illuminating on this side. It makes no sense at all. We've also still got the main beam and dip beam lights on the dashboard. So something is clearly very, very messed up, and I don't know what on earth it is. Well, our special guest has arrived. It is James Walsh of Practical Classics magazine, and more importantly, a bit of a Berlingo nerd. I don't think you'd want the term expert applied to you, but...
Oh no, I'm not an expert, no. I fiddle about like you do and hope for the best some of the time, and then other times sort of actually feel like I know what I'm doing. So it's really quite exciting, isn't it, when that actual fault that you're fiddling about with, actually you've managed to fix it, and you feel like you're, not expert, but you've achieved something. Anyway, I'm hoping we can achieve something with your Berlingo.
You certainly know a fair bit about them, and you know more about them than I do. And importantly, come look, we have a laptop running Lexia, so it's actually talking to the Berlingo. The screen reflections are absolutely horrific.
I don't know whether you can see what we're doing.
We did have faults come up on BSI and injection.
So
is that the airbags you were just
So that's the airbag. So what we've got here, I don't know whether you can see this. What it says here is that we have dialogue with our BSI, which is our sort of the brain that lives under the dashboard. But it says there's a fault. And you scroll down a bit and we get to injection. It says, yes, we have dialogue. Oh yes, a fault. I've just killed the fault with the airbag. So
yeah, that'll probably come back. That does self-clear when you've actually got a good connection. I think it's under the seat belt, under the seat on the passenger side.
So if I can find the cursor, which is it's very strong sunlight here, let's just have a look at our injection. Go into that menu. It's a very old laptop, by the way. This laptop's about 13 years old, and it's the only laptop that I've got that will run this software, because of course this car came out in this is a 2001 Bella.
Yeah.
And this laptop would have been state of the art back then. Right, so we've got
quite a
few
list there,
faults.
haven't we? Yeah, blimey.
Intermittent fault, flow meter signal short circuit to earth or open circuit.
Okay.
So now that will have been you disconnecting the MAF sensor.
Okay.
So you know you replaced that. So you replaced the MAF sensor, and I think that's when you did that, because it's recognising that that's been unplugged.
Yeah.
So we can get rid of that, and that will probably go. So when we do a rescan on this, we'll probably find out that a lot of this has disappeared, because things you've been unplugging and plugging back in again,
Yeah.
they're clever buggers. So they sit there and go, "Oh, what are you doing to me?"
Yeah.
And so it registers
remember.
in the BSI. So let's see what else we've got. We've got a permanent fault, diesel temperature signal coherence.
Ooh.
Intermittent fault, inlet air temperature signal short circuit.
That was probably the old broken MAF. I
Right,
imagine.
could be. Permanent fault, accelerator pedal 1. Now we've just had a go at changing the throttle position sensor, the potentiometer, which is the throttle position sensor. So we've just changed that one over for a good one that I knew I had, and that hasn't worked, has it?
No.
But that's what that is, I think. So let's just see what happens when we cancel these faults. Fault erasing. Let's
By fault.
get rid of all those. Bye-bye. Switch off the ignition for 12 seconds. Fault erasing in progress.
Oh, love the beep. Can you turn that beep off?
It's horrible, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you can't get rid of the beep. It's horrible, isn't it? The
I would
later
throw that
Berlingos
beep
did away with
in
that.
the sea.
Right, switch the ignition on again. Faults remaining. So it's still recognising that there are faults. So we're going to go back into fault reading and see what's left. Some further investigation needed, I think, on courtesy of Google, to find out what these faults actually mean.
Yeah, well, we
So
should
it gives you
continue
this-
to investigate, but yeah, it's nice that Bella is actually now able to tell us stuff. Now the tricky bit is trying to decipher it and get rid of these errors. So we quickly got to the bottom of why the potentiometer is not reading correctly. That's because some idiot forgot to plug it back in.
It does help when you plug things back in.
It does, yeah. Should we try that again?
We've all done it.
I might even bolt that in properly.
Ooh.
Not happy.
Let's have another look. Do another diagnosis. See if anything's popped up.
So now we've made a misfire a few more times.
Let's see if we have another fault popping up. Always a good idea to start it up, drive it a bit, and then see if any of these faults come back. So it's doing the diagnosis again now.
Okay, well, let it do its thing. We are back. It's exactly a week later. We were here with James messing around with computers and learning that computers probably weren't the issue. So I went on eBay and I bought a 25 quid leak-off injector test. So I've got that connected up under the bonnet here. We've blocked off the return pipes one side of the injector and the main feed. The spark plug is a perfect fit. And then we've connected each injector's return to 4 bottles here. It's a 6-cylinder testing kit, so there's 2 we won't be using at all. But I'm about to start the engine
Do we
and
not need
see
to
what
reconnect
happens.
before we start the engine?
We do. I told you I'd forget, didn't I? We just popped the injector wiring out of the way just so we
do
could...
you want me to look at the same time? I know that the bottles are going to tell us, but do you want me to have a look?
Yeah,
and
just make
see?
sure nothing is where it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that bit of air going through, I think. Move that.
And you said you were going to go and rev it to the point where she...
I was going to say, she doesn't seem to be leaking back anything at the moment. She has got to fill up the pipes first. Oh, here we go. We can see the fuel. Every injector
Here it
pulls.
comes very slowly.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just rev her up so she's in that zone where she's missing really badly.
And as you mentioned, we're looking for, if everything is well, even... It's just edging.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's edging on all 4, does it? Oh, maybe.
So we're just Oh, number 2 was very late to the party. Notice she isn't misfiring now. That's not looking massively conclusive yet,
was
is it?
late to the party, but seems to have evened out. Because we are looking for an even distribution, aren't we?
We are. 3.5, 3.5. More like 4.
4 and a bit.
Yeah. That would suggest that 4 is returning more fuel than the others. Like I say, it's not a very exact science. But it certainly looks like 4 is returning more fuel to me. So that's fuel that's not getting burnt in the cylinder.
Would that suggest the problem is with 4?
Yeah, so more is getting returned from 4. Right, let's knock her off and we'll call that an end of that experiment.
Strangely hypnotic. Oh, there was hypnotic jiggling going on.
Oh, okay.
Just sit and watch the jiggling.
Yeah, so try and have it level. All the bottles aren't facing the same way. That's not particularly helpful.
Yeah, but if you've got them on
it's about half.
get them on the level, then
that one's just below 5. 1 is on about 4.5. 5 is just over 4.5. Sorry, 2 is over 4.5. 3 is bang on 5.
oh look, that's 5
Yeah,
and a half.
yeah, that's a
The
fair
others are
bit more.
pretty level.
So, in my unscientific mind, I would say that means 4 is probably our problem, but 3 is not looking brilliant either. Unfortunately, this might be end of video because speaking to Tim at Cambrian Classics, I know modern stuff isn't his thing, but he was saying getting the injectors out of these heads can be very difficult, and I don't want to do something stupid like break off an injector.
I got to say, I have been reading the Haynes manual, which, did you know there were various engine changes in September 2002?
Okay.
And including the movement of the ECU. But anyway, that's an aside. It pretty much said, don't fluffing touch the injectors in a significant way.
Yeah, and I get that, I really do. It's a scourge of modern times, I guess, because the injectors just sit there forever. To be fair, I don't think that's necessarily a modern thing issue, but there are a lot of cars, especially Volkswagens and some Mercs, where getting the injectors out of heads can be very problematic. So Tim tips us off about a mobile mechanic that we might try for this. We'll see what he says. We'll see if he agrees that this shows a clear issue. It's not a vast difference between them all, but 4 has definitely returned more fuel.
Yeah.
Be interested in your thoughts, people. It's the first time I've done this. I thought it'd be quite interesting to see. Oh, I see that, so you can hang it up. That's working really well.
Oh, that's clever. So it's level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that you can hang it very far, but
In other
yeah.
news, we've discovered that although Bella was registered in November 2002, she was actually manufactured before
Yeah.
September 2002. So she's pre-engine changes.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts, people, and we'll decide on a course of activity. But yeah, at least we have got a difference. That does indicate an issue. But is it significant? I don't know.
Ironically, when you were doing that, she wasn't doing the same.
She wasn't misfiring at all.
She wasn't.
No, whereas when I was revving her up just to move her earlier, misfiring all over the place. That is very odd.
But
Maybe we'll just check all the leak-off pipes are definitely clear.
it's been a good learning process, hasn't it? Because we have
Yeah.
done electronic diagnostics,
Yeah.
and then we've gone old school.
Yeah, and
As
it just
well.
sort of proves that plugging in a computer doesn't necessarily tell you anything. It won't magically say, oh, you need to replace this item or service this item. It just says this is an issue.
No, but it was helpful in that. I mean, it did pick
I'm
up
just
on
going
what.
to go and stand in the shade
Yeah,
over
no,
here.
it's a bit warm. Should we stand in the
A bit
shade?
warm, yeah.
It did pick up on things that we weren't anticipating, and of course, because we were disconnecting, reconnecting connectors, you can cancel them off. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting insight. But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you say, this is mechanical rather than
Yeah.
electronics. So
But there we go. That is where we are with Bella. I think a little further along, but we might have to seek some professional help.
and apologies to all those that because I know the Lingo fam are coming to the
Yeah.
to the social
Not
tomorrow.
all of them in there, Lingos. One of them has had a rear axle collapse, which sadly we know all about.
Yes.
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 Bad times.
But yeah,
Good luck getting it sorted.
Berlingo lot are coming tomorrow, so it would have been nice to have Bella, but we take Betty. Everybody likes Betty. She's a crowd pleaser.
There we go. Right, we're going to put it back together, and that's the end of that one. We shall get back to you once we know more. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Oh, and don't forget you can buy lovely merchandise.
Oh, yeah, famous t-shirt now.
Yeah, we'll be going
famous.
home. Oh, there's a Fiesta there in a certain Daihatsu. And one of these t-shirts met Mighty Car Mods
I know,
in
that's
Paris.
Ridiculously
We are
exciting.
very, very
Huge
happy about
thank
that.
you to Matt Pink for introducing them to our t-shirt.
Yeah,
It's
can't believe
almost
it.
like Shem actually did meet them.
Well, sort of. Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Super. Bye then. I forgot to do the
bye.
bye bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, very abrupt
Bye.
bye. Bye. Bye. Science.